NEP Christmas All Night tonight.
Merry Christmas! Welcome to our very special Christmas program. It's specially for you, and it's going to take place on the Street of Christmas Dreams. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait. I want to tell you a little bit about this first. We have lots of surprises planned. Of course, it's snowing on the Street of Christmas Dreams, and did you ever stop and think, a lot of people never ever see snow? We're so lucky living where we are. We have all 4 seasons to enjoy. Do you know the names of the seasons? Well, I'll tell you about it. Of course, we enjoy snowy days, we enjoy sunshine, we enjoy autumn leaves. And the seasons are called spring, summer, fall, and winter. Delight to hear the birds sing in the springtime, to see the flowers and the new green leaves on the trees. There's one thing that's sure. When the birds start to sing, everyone knows that spring is truly here.
When I awake each morning, I hear the birds all sing. They're washing and they're preening. They know that it is spring. The smart ones wake up early, a tasty worm to find. The others are too lazy, and they are left behind.
What do you know? It's summertime. Summer season is the one that almost everyone loves. For some people, it's a time for gardens to be improved on. Beautiful flower gardens, delicious vegetable gardens. Whatever you're doing in the summer, it's usually a very happy and a busy time. You know, summertime means that school is over till September, and all of you are on a long summer vacation. It's a time for swimming and playing and picnicking and going on a real vacation with the family. It's a time for day camp or sleepaway camp or camping in your own backyard. Whatever it is, summer and playtime make you feel good all over. Oh, summer is a lovely time, and it's gone sooner than we like to think. You know, before you know it, it's time for school again. It's back to the pencils, the books, the homework, to teachers, to new and to old classmates. That's a sure sign that the fall season has come. You know, there are a lot of other signs that the fall season has arrived. It starts to get colder. At night, you really need a nice warm blanket on your bed. And if you notice, there aren't as many birds around. The little wild animals just seem to kind of slowly disappear into their homes underground. And of course, the trees change colors. The leaves change to red, to gold, to yellow, to brown. The colors are beautiful, but it's a sure sign that summer is over and that fall is beginning.
Red and orange, yellow and brown, your lovely green has passed. Red and orange, yellow and brown, time has gone so fast. Falling, sailing in the wind, your leaves are flying down. Soon my yard will have a row, all red, orange, yellow, and brown.
Soon after Thanksgiving, things really begin to change. The weather starts to get colder. Some trees have no leaves at all. People stay indoors more and more. People who do go outside are bundled up tight so the winter chill won't reach them. It's a time for gloves and scarves and boots. Winter is a lot of fun, but it brings a lot of cold and snow and ice, and sometimes sniffles and sneezes too. The nicest days in winter are the Christmas holidays. Everyone seems to be more cheerful and happy. There are presents to give and receive, toys, trees, and wreaths, and the lovely sound of Christmas bells. So follow me, because it's this way to Christmas. Time for remembering and a time for stories. And I know a wonderful fairy story, and it starts as all good fairy stories do. Once upon a time, there was a wicked witch who had a magic mirror, and whenever she saw something in her mirror, something terrible would happen. One day, as she was flying high above the earth, the mirror dropped from her hand and smashed to the earth, breaking into 1,000,000 pieces. It scattered all over and sparkled and gleamed just like snow. And you know what? The snow is falling right now on our street of Christmas dreams. But that's not all. It happened to be Christmas Eve. And like every Christmas Eve, this poor, tired lady was on her way to work. But tonight, she had wonderful thoughts about what she was going to buy for her children to make their Christmas a merry one. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a coin. She had saved a very long time. And as she held this coin in her small, frail hand, it dropped between her fingers and rolled into the snow, and it disappeared. Slowly, she kneeled in the cold snow and started brushing the snow to find the coin. She pushed the snow aside until her hands were so cold, her fingers were really numb. She couldn't believe it. Her head dropped into her hands, and she began to sob. How could she be so clumsy and lose the only money she had worked so hard for? Oh, now her children would have no presents for Christmas. She slowly got up and started to leave when suddenly she stumbled and fell. And as she was picking herself up, her hand brushed past a bump in the snow. But it felt very strange. Instead of cold snow, it seemed to be warm. She carefully brushed aside the snow and, behold, there in the snow lay a beautiful young lady. She almost looked like a princess. The poor lady reached out, almost afraid to touch her face with her warm hand. And, like magic, the princess began to stir. The poor lady pulled back with fright and almost fell. The beautiful princess tried to speak, but she was so weak, the poor lady had to lean over to hear what she was saying. Wicked witch. A wicked witch. She saw me in the mirror, and she laughed so hard that the mirror fell from her hand and broke into a billion pieces. She cackled and laughed and said, "From now on, you will be snow, and you will be known as the Snow Princess. But you shall fly aimlessly all over the earth and never rest." I guess somehow all the pieces must have fallen here, and they lay here until your warm hand brought my still body to life. Otherwise, I would have just been here and melted away in the springtime. But tell me, poor lady, why are there tears on your cheek? The poor lady told the princess her story, how she had lost her money, and she began to sob and sob. Weep no more. I know you are truly honest, and you love your children dearly. If only one coin could bring you happiness, this gift I have for you can bring you joy. It is because your heart is good, and you have made many sacrifices. And from now on, you will work no more, especially on Christmas Eve. Suddenly, the wind started to blow, and the wind blew stronger and stronger, and the snow started to swirl and blow in every direction. And where the Snow Princess had been, she was no more. The poor lady got up slowly and thought, I must be dreaming. But no, she had this pot of golden coins, and a great smile came across her face. And she thought, this truly shall be the merriest Christmas of all. And maybe someday, the Snow Princess might fall like snow into your backyard. Oh, I don't believe this. Sure enough, I think I've broken my heel. Look at that. Oh, and I have so many things to do and so many errands to run, and it's cold too in the snow. I'm going to have this fixed. I wonder if there might be a shoe repair shop around here somewhere. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. I think I see a light over there. Maybe, I think it is a shoe repair shop. I'm going to have this fixed. There's somebody there, but, I don't mind waiting. Here we go. Yes, I don't mind.
Shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing, dancing all the day. Shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing all my cares away. In the shoemaker's shop, this refrain would never stop as he tapped away, working all the day. At his bench there was he, just as busy as a bee, little time to lose with his boots and shoes. but his heart went up inside the little shop when a lovely girl set him all a whirl. She had come to choose some pretty dancing shoes, and he heard her say in a charming way, shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing, dancing all the day. Shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing all my cares away. Then he tapped and he stitched, for his fingers were bewitched, and he sewed a dream into every seam, making shoes oh so neat, just like magic on her feet. And he hoped she'd know that he loved her so, but she danced, danced, danced as though she were entranced, like a spinning top all around the shop. On her dainty feet she whirled into the street, and he heard her say as she danced away, shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing, dancing all the day. Shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing all my cares away. Shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing all my cares away. Shoes to set my feet a-dancing, dancing, dancing all my cares away.
Oh, listen, thank you. Merry Christmas. Yes, you have a wonderful holiday. Oh, pardon me. Oh, Bobby.
Miss Judy.
Bobby,
Oh, my goodness.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Good
Christmas
to
to you.
see you.
You scared me. I guess I shouldn't have been reading the paper on
that's
the...
perfectly all right.
on the
I'm
street.
getting all my packages here.
Are you going on a trip or a vacation?
Oh, no, I'm just...
You got those? No, you don't. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid I don't.
You don't. Where are you going? You're going on a trip or visiting the kids?
No. I'm just catching up on all my last-minute shopping. You know, I have a very long list, and there are just so many people I enjoy buying presents for Christmas time. In fact, are you doing your last-minute Christmas shopping, Bobby?
No, I'm not too excited about shopping, Miss Judy. Besides, I don't have anybody to shop for.
Oh, now, come on.
No,
That's
don't.
too bad. Now, Bobby, there must be somebody that you can buy Christmas presents for. And I'm sure if you speak to Santa Claus on Christmas Eve, he'll have a big surprise for you.
You mean like I should write him a letter or something?
I certainly think so. Haven't you done that yet?
I don't believe in Santa Claus. I'm not going to write him a letter. I mean,
Oh, now, come
Santa's a fake.
Now, Bobby, don't say that. I wrote a very long letter to Santa Claus, and I wrote down all sorts of things, and I really hope I'm going to get everything I ask for.
Yeah, maybe you will, but I don't believe in it. I'm disgusted.
Bobby, that's not true. In fact, I know a little girl who's writing a letter to Santa Claus. In fact, she's doing it right now, and if you want to take a little look, right over here. Look, Bobby.
Oh.
Know you're very busy, so many things to do. Kids from all over the world waiting for you. But I won't take much of your time, just a minute or two, to tell you what's on my mind, and then I'll be through. Dear Santa, I'm writing to say thank you for the happiness you're giving away. Thank you for the gifts and toys, the candy and the fun. Thank you for the smiles and joy you bring to everyone. But thank you most of all for the love I see everywhere I look today, looking back at me. Everywhere I look today, looking back at me.
Oh, now, come on, Bobby. No, come on.
Oh, Miss Judy.
Here.
I feel terrible.
Yeah, oh, come on, Bobby. Don't be like that. It's Christmas Eve, and we're all going to enjoy the holiday.
Miss Judy, do you think maybe if I hurried that I'd still have a time to write a letter to Santa Claus?
Now, dry your tears, Bobby. Of course you'll have time to write a letter to Santa Claus, and he'll be anxious to receive it. Now, you better get going.
Okay, I'm going to go.
There's not much time left.
I got to get to the post office, get a stamp.
Okay. Bye, Bobby. Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. I'm sure he'll get there in time. You know, this is just such a joyous time of year. Christmas is a really happy season, and everyone gets all excited about, well, what they'd like to find from Santa Claus under their tree. And you know, sometimes in the excitement of the holiday, you kind of forget the real meaning of Christmas, that really, Christmas is more a time for giving than for receiving, and it's certainly a time for sharing. Now, once upon a time, in a little village, there lived an old clockmaker by the name of Herman Joseph. Now, he lived in one room with a bench for his work, a chest for his wood, his tools, a cupboard for dishes, and a trundle bed under the bench. Besides these, there was a stool, and that was all, except, of course, for the clocks. The clocks were little, and some were big. Some were carved, and some had wooden faces. Some were shelf clocks and cuckoo clocks, and some had chimes, and some were very plain clocks. And they all hung on the wall. Herman was a little clockmaker. He was very old and, well, kind of funny to look at, but there was, oh, such a kind face on Herman. And in all of the village, he was truly one of the kindest people who lived there. The children loved him. No matter what kind of work Herman was doing, he was always put it aside to mend a doll or a toy, and never would he take anything for the mending. Now, it was the custom to go to church on Christmas Eve and to lay a gift before the Holy Mother and the child. People saved all year long that they might have something wonderful to bring on that day. They believed that when a gift was brought that pleased the Christ child more than any other, he would reach down from Mary's arms and take it. Now, those who had no gift to bring went to church on Christmas Eve because they enjoyed seeing the gifts that other people brought. They enjoyed listening to the carols and watching the burning of waxen tapers. One day, someone stopped the little clockmaker and asked, "How happens it that you never bring a gift?" Well, the truth of it was that the little clockmaker was so busy giving to the needy all year long that there was never anything left at Christmas time. But he had a wonderful idea, and he worked on his idea whenever he could spare time from his clocks. It had taken years and years, and no one knew anything about it. It was to be a clock, the most wonderful and beautiful clock ever made, and every part of it had been fashioned with loving care. Now, Herman saw that with a little more haste and time, he could have his clock ready for this Christmas. He mended the children's toys as before, but he gave up making his regular clocks, so there were fewer and fewer to sell. Now, in the meantime, the clock was becoming more beautiful every day. The days went by like clouds before a winter wind, and the clock was finished at last. Oh, so happy was Herman with his work that he put the gift clock on the shelf before the little window to show passers-by. There were crowds looking at it all day long, and many would whisper, "Do you think this can be the gift Herman has spoken of? His offering on Christmas Eve to the Christ child?" Well, the day before Christmas came, And Herman worked very hard. He cleaned up his little shop, and he brushed his clothes, and then he went over the gift clock one more time to be sure that everything was perfect. In fact, he was so happy that he gave away all he had but one coin to a blind beggar who passed his door. And then, remembering that he hadn't eaten anything since breakfast, he spent the last coin for a Christmas apple to eat with his crust of bread. Now, Herman never even noticed that the door opened, and all of a sudden, a little girl was standing there. She was crying softly. It's my father. He's hurt. And all the money that was put aside for the tree and sweets and toys has gone to the doctor. Already we have lighted the candle at the window and are waiting for Kris Kringle to come, but, oh, come, little one. All will be well, Herman said. I will sell a clock for you. Go home and sing for the Christmas holiday. Herman tried very hard to sell a clock. He even stood on the street corner and in the square, crying, "A clock, a good clock for sale." But everyone would buy. No one would buy his clock. Finally, he went to the richest man in the village, Herr Graf himself. "Will your excellency buy a clock? I would not ask, but it is Christmas, and, well, I want to buy some happiness for some children." Herr Graf smiled. "Yes, I will buy a clock, but not that one. I will pay a handsome sum for the clock that you have had in your window these past 4 days." "But, Your Excellency, that is impossible." And poor Herman trembled harder than ever. "That clock or none," said Herr Graf. "Get home, and I will send a servant for it in half an hour, and I will pay you well." Herman slowly walked away. Anything but that. Anything but that. And so it happened that the servant came, and when he left, he carried to Herr Graf the beautiful gift clock that Herman had worked so hard on. And as the servant disappeared, the chimes began to ring from the little church, and the street suddenly became noisy with the people on their way to church bearing their Christmas offerings. "I've gone empty-handed before," said the little clockmaker sadly. "I guess I can go empty-handed once again." And then his eyes fell to the Christmas apple. "It is all I have, my dinner for 2 days. I will carry that to the Christ child. It is better, after all, than going empty-handed." In church that Christmas Eve, there were richer gifts that had been brought for many years. There was cloth of gold and cloth of silk brought from the East. Even the king himself had brought his crown and scepter to lay before the child. And after these splendid offerings came the little clockmaker, walking slowly down the long, dim aisle. He held tightly to his Christmas apple. "Shame," the voices said. "See, he is too mean to bring his clock. He hoards it as a miser hoards his gold." Herman just stumbled blindly. His head dropped forward on his chest. Now he knew he was finally past the seats. His feet touched the first step, and there were several to climb to the altar. 1, 2, 3. He counted slowly to himself. Then he tripped and almost fell. He was nearly there. The murmur of shame died away, and in its place rose one of wonder and of awe. It is the miracle. It is the miracle. And the little clockmaker looked up through dim eyes and saw the child leaning towards him, far down from Mary's arms, with hands outstretched to take his gift. the sounds of Christmas now begin to fall about our ears. In the distance, steeple bells are ringing loud and clear. Through this season of goodwill, let true love point the way, and into every heart instill the magic that is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, everybody!